and 2 and 1, and we are live on the YouTube channel. Today we're talking about comms, communication, one of the most important things, regardless of if you're just trying to be a great parent, a great business person, a great leader. Communication is absolutely key. I would say if you can get good at communication, it is going to unlock everything else. And I'm going to break down and actually show you in this segment some things I've learned from Tyler Mount, who is Ryan Serhant's lead brand strategist. I also had Derek Bixler on my podcast yesterday. I believe he's in Breakfast with Champions right now. If you're on the YouTube channel, we actually go live every morning on Friday, 7 to 7:30 a.m. for these live training segments on Breakfast with Champions. We live stream to YouTube because sometimes I overshare and I actually screen share things that we're doing in our business to show you the implementation so you can take it and do it in your own business. Yesterday, I learned a couple unlocks about Google My Business that is making the phone ring off the hook. So if that sounds like something you want in your business, make sure that you click that notification, that subscription button to stick around for that. But I'm going to dig right into it. So why am I doing this segment on communication? Every single week, I pick a topic and I think, what could provide the most value for the people that are watching this video? I think about who's watching the video, and it's primarily entrepreneurs, real estate agents, and people that just are working on getting better. And when I think about the different facets of what I work on a daily basis, there's really 3 key things my clients hire me for: market intelligence, marketing, and then negotiation. Right? They come to me because they know I'm an expert in the real estate space. That's what I'm best known for. I own a brokerage with my beautiful wife. She's the brains of the organization. I'm the feet and the face. And really, I'm kind of the art side. She's the math. She's incredibly well educated, MBA from the Richard Ivey School of Business. This lady is like the Matrix when she's sitting down working on spreadsheets, where I'm more the art side of things. I'm the creative, and I've always been into photography, videography, and communication. So my specialty lies is really communicating things differently. And if you look at case studies of videos we've done on properties, the way we are able to set record prices is clearly communicating with the people that are out there what the asset is, why it's different. And here's the biggest secret: we share things that they cannot find on MLS, because every single one of you, when you're looking for a house, you go on MLS and you look at all the listing descriptions and all the photos look the exact same. They're all boring wide angle shots of properties. Then you read the descriptions and they all sound the exact same: open concept, chef's kitchen, and they all sound the same. And then you click through the photos, you call the agent maybe picks up, maybe he doesn't pick up. And then you book a showing finally, or you go to somebody else, they open the door, the agent hasn't even looked up the property. You walk through, basically you found the house yourself. Then you write a contract, the agent gets paid because they opened up a door. You kind of feel like you're let down a little bit by the process, but hey, you got the house. Where my job is to be completely different, and we use cinematography and storytelling to get straight to you. We typically actually go around the agents so that by the time you walk into the house, even if your agent hasn't done the research, you feel like you have an intimate knowledge of this house. You know so many things about it that you cannot see on MLS. You know things about the neighborhood, things about the lifestyle, what it's like to actually live there, the things that are hidden behind the walls, the upgrades. I think you get the story. So to me, that is the importance of communication. It's how can I provide value to the person that I'm communicating with, even when I'm doing this segment. As much as I love cinematography and videography, I don't really do a lot of that on this channel because that's not who watches it. I really pay attention to what videos are doing well, what are in the comments. Literally, if you're on this live stream and you're like, hey, Justin, I want to learn more about this, and you drop a comment, my team will actually take that comment and then put it on our project board, and I'll do a live training just for you. So that's one way of how my mind works when it comes to communication. Now, going to the audience side of things, this is a massive mistake I made for years. If you go to my Instagram, which is one of my larger platforms, and you go back to the history of my posts, it is a scattergun early on. Something that Tyler Mount taught me that I know I need to implement is archiving old posts. So if you look at my early posts, I was posting everything and anything. Love jujitsu, love fly fishing, love photography, love real estate, love working out, love my family, love travel, love so many different things. But the problem with just me thinking about my feed as me was I wasn't paying attention to who my audience was and what I actually wanted to build on that platform. I did get clarity a couple of years ago that there's really just 2 platforms that I run. There's this one, which is Justin Konikow, and you can go to justinkonikow.com for resources. You can come to this YouTube channel. If you follow me on my socials, you get me because you're probably more interested in how I built a prime real estate, how I even got connected with a guy like Ryan Serhant, how I lead rooms on Breakfast with Champions and everything else. You want to know those things. This is where you find that. I don't do a lot of advertising. I don't really talk about the individual properties I'm selling on my profile, except for Instagram. I'll get to that in a second. The second platform I run is Prime Real Estate. And Prime Real Estate is bigger than Justin Konikow at this point. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, who's Prime Real Estate? Just sounds like another brokerage. Prime Real Estate is unlike any brokerage on the planet because we don't recruit. We have a waiting list of agents that want to join us. We're actually a company that specializes in real estate. We're a real estate company. We actually have Prime Media Productions and then Prime Media Agency. Prime Media Productions creates the assets to run the creative against Prime Real Estate, and then the agency runs the advertising. So we're basically a one-stop shop where if you want to sell your house, you can hire a production company, an agency, a real estate brokerage that specializes in marketing and negotiations to sell your house for the same price as hiring one agent anywhere else. And we really wanted to create a holistic solution to real estate that was more than me working at a brokerage, just doing what was standard in our industry. Now, that platform speaks to the consumers. And I wasn't actually going to do this, but I'll screen share and kind of explain it to you a little bit more in depth. And I'll pull up my YouTube channel so I can give you clarity around how we did this from a communication standpoint. So if I pull up, I'm going to share my whole screen. Let's get crazy here. So if I pull up my whole screen, here is Prime Real Estate Brokerage. Not a ton of subs, but here's the fun thing about social this year. It's a lot for a real estate brokerage channel. I'm getting close to 3K subs, 1.13 million views on this channel. And if you look at our videos, and I actually go to videos here, I'm actually doing a quick screen share. If you're on the audio, I'll kind of walk you through this. And I click on popular, 36,000 views, 32,000 views, 31,000 views, 31,000 views, 30,000 views. And we convert typically 20 to 30 leads off our YouTube and Google organically. This isn't us generating paid ads. That's a completely separate SKU, but this is literally just staying super focused at saying we are the very best at real estate in Southwestern Ontario. Plus, if you're anywhere on the planet and you need an agent, you think of Prime Real Estate first. You click on the link, we'll connect you with an agent. I can hook you up with Ryan in New York. I've got people in Long Island. I've got people in Europe, Israel, UK, Texas, BC, and these are people I know. This isn't me just saying I have a logo and I'm just going to call my office and they're going to connect me with some random person in some random area. These are actual relationships and vetted people that you're getting, which is very different than if you just call a random big box brokerage and said, hey, who do you have in this area? So Prime Real Estate, our goal with this channel, and if I actually go to our website, is very simple. We want to become the most trusted name in real estate. Our website showcases very nice visuals, and it automatically shows you that we're very different than everybody else, right? What we try to do is really elevate the marketing to a level that literally it looks like Avatar, or, Michael Bay did the videos for these properties. We really want our clients to feel that way. But we also at the very top of our website are very clear about residential, commercial investing, new development, agricultural, and then here's how to contact us and find an agent. I'll skip over super quick to our Instagram because I think this will be helpful for people to understand how we think about these things. And let me go to Prime Brokerage. Again, you're going to notice it's very consistent in the fact that you can see that there's different agents that work at Prime, but you see consistently the type of things that we do. Now, I don't love the advertising look of this page, but it's supposed to be like this because it's a corporate site. If I was going to flip over to my page, it's a lot more lifestyle oriented. And I'll get to this in a second of how I separate the two. And I don't think everybody needs to have two pages. But if I actually go to this one and I show you that we have different agents and different people, the reason we have this site is when you work with Betty, I want you to see that Betty and I collaborate. But if I'm posting something on my personal site, I don't necessarily want to affect Betty's individual brand by posting something on my site, right? So there's a consistency to the communication that you see on the Prime site is we specialize in real estate. Obviously, we're located in Southwestern Ontario, Canada. So anywhere, Kitchener to Sarnia, Lake Huron to Lake Erie, you call us, we are going to deploy the troops. We're like your Navy SEAL team in this area. But the cool thing is we got hookups everywhere. And that is a huge part of what we do. We send out referrals nonstop. I've got amazing people in Orlando, and I can go on and on about the referrals that we're sending. So if you are watching this and you need an agent, you think of us first. That is communication, because I'm doing this live stream and I know that probably everybody on this eventually is going to want to buy a house, owns a house, or knows somebody that needs a house. So if I'm clearly communicating that to you, it makes it really easy for you to turn around and to communicate it back to the people in your ecosystem, and we can do business together. I'm not selling you, I'm communicating. Let's jump back over to my profile. I know the people that I speak to, again, are entrepreneurs and real estate agents. I'm best known for real estate, but people also come to me for marketing ideas, creativity. Justin, how do you create content? Justin, how do you mind sweep, time block? How do you build a team? Public speaking, all these things. And this is where this all lives. Now, I'm also working through a new format and watching the algorithm and changing how I'm doing things based on how the platforms are operating. The basis of communication is the exact same, right? The art of articulation is what I think about. Who is Justin and what does Justin do? Well, Justin's not a coach. Justin's not a public speaker. Justin's the best real estate agent on the planet. And if you need any advice, you DM Justin. And Justin owns Prime, but Justin also loves to fish. And Justin loves making videos. And Justin can actually shoot and loves photography. So how do I incorporate those things without people thinking I do too many things and they dequalify me in the real estate space because they think I'm a public speaker or they think I'm running a coaching or a recruiting business? Well, I communicate it with people, right? I think really understanding the message you're trying to convey is step one. And I don't think people put enough time into that. Just like I don't think people put enough time into creating a job description before they hire the person. A lot of times they hire the person and then they're like, well, we'll figure it out and I'll train them to do the job that I need. And then it doesn't work out because that person didn't have clear expectations of what the job was and then didn't have proper onboarding, training, and execution. It's the exact same thing when it comes to communication. So if you look at the pattern that I'm running here, in about a day, I'll be posting one more Twitter thread. So what I'm doing here, you see these patterns of communication. These are absolutely crushing right now. If you look at the engagement that I have on these, and I actually misspelled this. So here's a great case study for communication. I voice to text all the time. If you know me, it's like an insider joke in our community. And I said, today I thought ChatGPT would never replace me. That thought came initially as I was digging out a footing on a deck for a client in order to save a deal and showcase to the buyers that it was properly constructed. This whole thread is about AI and how I'm making myself resilient to AI, because AI can probably get rid of 80% of real estate agents whose only value is setting up a portal for you, opening a door, and writing a contract. That can all be automated. My client, we had a conditional deal. We needed to understand if there was a concrete footing under a big post on a deck. So I literally stopped what I was doing, grabbed a shovel, drove over there, dug out this huge hole, dug out the footing, was able to take a photo, save the deal. It was all within like a very short time frame. And I'm like, well, a computer can't do that. And that's great. Well, but a computer could hire a contractor to go do that. And I started going down this wormhole. Regardless, thought experiment. I put this out on Twitter. Now, something that I was watching a lot of other creators do was they were snapshotting their Twitter threads. So they would write like a 3 or 4 or 5 thread on Twitter, and then they would screenshot it and they would post it. The amount of engagement that I get on these posts has been bananas. And I've been watching it. My good friend Kim Walsh-Phillips just talked about this. She talked about how looking at the data and then leaning into that is a great way to find success and grow the right following on your socials. And this is proof of that. So I started screenshotting it, and then I started making it something that I do once a week. So you can see that I have multiple threads here and they're all getting fantastic engagement. Second thing I realized was I've been running like one of the best podcasts, obviously, in my opinion, since 2015. Like, it's been some time. This isn't a new thing. And a lot of times I just interview people I'm genuinely curious about, but I didn't really tell anybody about it. We get good downloads. I haven't really been focused on the growth or the numbers. I don't really care. It's called Prime People. I love interviewing people that have great stories and sharing with the public. We run it live on this YouTube channel every Thursday, 1 to 2 p.m. Hit subscribe if you want that, or you can go to the audio podcast. It's on Apple. It's called Prime People, syndicated literally everywhere. But when I started sharing it more, I did notice all of a sudden on the live stream, more engagement, more people showing up. So I made a point of communicating it consistently and making it really easy for people to scan the QR code, go to the podcast. This isn't an interactive post, so I'm not going to see as much engagement as I am going to see on a Twitter thread, but it has really helped. Alfonso Quadra is an amazing story. Owned a clothing company, went to zero, rebuilt himself up, and is now killing it in the investment space. Eric Meisner, land development in Austin, Texas, talks about how to become a high value asset to your clients. And this one that I just did yesterday, I cannot tell you how valuable the information was that Derek Bixler shared about Google My Business, which I'm going to share a little bit with you right now. Google My Business, it might be one of the easiest ways for you to generate clients today. Google My Business with Google Local Service Ads is like jet fuel. Google Local Service Ads will actually make your phone ring off the hook today, but it's going to cost you money. So if you want to do something for free, optimize your Google My Business profile. Start getting reviews, which I wasn't doing a great job on, and I've already noticed a big increase on. But what I wanted to share from a comm standpoint was this section right here. So Derek had said your feed, so your updates that you post on your Google My Business profile, make sure you're communicating some type of copy that is actually asking for the business. And this was a mind-blowing concept for me because I was like, well, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be the salesperson. I'll kind of treat it like a social feed. And I was resharing things that I was doing on my social feeds. No. The people that are on your Google My Business profile have Googled real estate agents in your area. They're looking for somebody. They've probably narrowed it down to 3. They're actually asking you to sell them. So when you're looking to post on something like Google My Business, you can 100% tell them we make real estate easy. We do premium real estate services, and we can educate them on the fact that, yes, we can work together and this is our value proposition. So our messaging has changed dramatically on Google My Business, and moving overseas, we can help. What I just shared with you early on in this segment, this is live proof that we're actually doing it. And I can tell you it's the reason that our phone is ringing. But it all starts with the communication. It starts with the thought that I need to tell people who I am, what I do, and where I do it, and give them a clear pathway to doing business with me. Otherwise, I can't expect them to just show up. My background was in hospitality. I used to run some of the busiest restaurants. I worked for a company called Is This Any Way to Run a Restaurant? We had 5 locations in Canada, 1 location in the States. My specialty was rebranding and getting bodies through the door. They gave me restaurants and said, hey, we have a pizza place. It's struggling a little bit. We got like a 3-month runway. We're burning cash on rent. If we don't get X amount of dollars through the door, unfortunately, we're going to have to close it. There's like 20 people that work there. And my boss was a great guy. And he wanted to keep people employed. Even if he broke even, he would keep a restaurant open just because he was a people person. So what did I do? I was like, well, the food's amazing. Just nobody knows about us. I remember realized a train would come in front of the restaurant every day at 5. So I told the chef at 4:30, 4:45, can you make sure that we have X amount of pizzas ready? And then we're going to cut them into tiny little slices. We'll have like 100 little slices of pizza. We printed off $5 coupons. Train came, traffic's backed up. We were running up and down in traffic, just giving everybody pizza for free with a $5 off coupon that I think we did in like Microsoft Word or something back in the day. The cops told me not to do that again because apparently you're not supposed to run around in traffic. Regardless, we communicated to everybody that was there that our food was amazing, gave them a reason to come into the restaurant, and we were packed. Then word started getting out to the people that they liked. They started bringing their friends in, and we really started getting traction with the business. There was a university bar that I ran as well too that had a really not great demographic, not a really good vibe and culture, and we had to rejig the culture. We changed the music. We started doing outreach to the right types of people, the right fit clients, started getting them in and started building the community. But we had to communicate who the right fit clients were and who we wanted, and then pour into that and then lean into that. So we didn't think about who we are, right? And we didn't think about what we wanted to post. We started thinking about what is the ecosystem that we want to be a part of. And we didn't change who we were to become part of that ecosystem, but we just communicated to those people who we were and created a synergy. And this is where it all comes together. The last lesson I'm going to teach you before I jump off and go to Q&A was what Tyler Mount shared in the branding course he did this week. So Tyler Mount is the lead brand consultant for Ryan Serhant, the agent, and $1 million listing. He's not with the show anymore, but owns one of the largest brokerages on the planet, one of the best agents on the planet, and in NYC, happens to be my mentor. And Tyler is like his right hand when it comes to all things brand strategy. Tyler has done incredible work, has literally won a Grammy, friend of the Prime Nation and really good dude. And we did a deep dive in Instagram. And I could do another segment on this, but he really talked about how when you're communicating, once you understand your audience and who your people are, they're not following you for advertisements. I did a lot of discussion around the hook, Google My Business, some strategy. But when it comes to my actual feed, I'm going to share this one more time. Let me share my screen again. When it comes to the actual feed, by following this, you will actually learn who I am, right? You'll see that I'm on beaches. You'll obviously see that I like real estate. You'll see in the very last reel that I shared that I like fishing. And if you start watching my content, you're getting the Justin show. If you're following my stories, like Kim Walsh Phillips said, that is probably the best way to really connect with me, really to see what my day-to-day is like, learn my mannerisms, and learn that I voice to text, that I make mistakes, and I share authentically who I am. And that is what really brings in the most people. I have clarity around what I'd like to accomplish, but I bring the human element back into it. Clearly communicating who I am will bring the right people to me. And here's a case study that happened to me last week. I was on vacation, got an Instagram DM. It's from a guy and he said, "Hey, Justin, we're ready to sell our house. Here's the address. Let me know when you can come by." Never talked to this guy before. So I was like on vacation. I'm like, well, I can come on this day and this day. We set a date and I went to see them yesterday. Had a meeting with them. Absolutely beautiful family. The exact avatar of who I want to work with. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human beings. Went through the entire house, explained what we do from a company perspective, what we do from a marketing perspective, what my fee was, and so on and so forth. And they're like, fantastic, you're hired. And when I was discussing with them, they said they've been watching me for a year and a half, never communicated with me up until this point. And they're like, we feel like we know you. And I said to them, I was like, you know what's funny? It's like, I feel like I know you because of the fact that I know who I'm speaking to in my videos, that I don't want to work with people that don't value what I do, that I don't want to work with people that don't care about their community, that aren't great parents, that aren't striving to be great business people. Like I'm not for the side of my industry that wants me to take an underhanded payout. I'm also not an agent that you can buy. My ethics are not for sale. I've been offered hundreds of thousands of dollars to have the buyer get a discounted price for the seller that I'm representing, but my fiduciary duty is to my seller. I have a contract saying I'll put their interests above mine. The founding principle of my brokerage is do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. Easy to put that on a wall, easy to put that on a website, but are you putting it into action? And when you do, and you communicate it with your community, you get those phone calls. And they told me, we're not interviewing anybody else. You're hired. These people feel like they've known me for a year and a half. I feel like I've known them for a lifetime. And that came from about 10 years of posting the wrong content, which is okay, to get to the right content. Now there's no feeling of overwhelm. There's no feeling of, I don't know what to post, because I share my Twitter threads on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. And a lot of those threads end up turning into reels and content because it's all synergistic. It's not very difficult once you understand the core things that you need to share. You follow me, you're probably going to get a lot of advice when it comes to real estate, content creation, and entrepreneurship. Those are pretty much the three things. And even if you go to my website, the resources that I share there, again, I'm not a coach, not for sale. I don't do coaching. People have asked me to. I would rather give it away for free and find the right fit clients. You need an agent anywhere on the planet, you call me. This is where I'm very clear about sharing the things that I know, love, with the people that I want to know and love. Hopefully this gave you some value. If it did, hit that subscribe button. If you join this newsletter, it's free. I share these free PDFs. You sign up for it, you'll actually get a Google Drive link. There's no funnel. It's literally just the PDFs people have asked me to create. There's one on getting started with YouTube. There's content creation, time blocking. And if you scroll down, I need to update this, but a lot of the tools I actually use for this YouTube channel, for the Prime channel, TubeBuddy's probably my number one. I'm going to pull vidIQ off there. I don't really use that one anymore, but this is the one that I use to really help my YouTube journey. And then the actual things I shoot with, this will get updated in the next month. My cameras, the lights, and all these things. Don't get overwhelmed with this. I've done all kinds of video on content creation. But again, I'm Justin, real estate and media, and I help you live a better life and find the best version of yourself. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm going to go back over to Clubhouse because I got to hand over my segment, but hopefully you got some value and we can connect soon. I'll see you next week.